To break this down for us this morning, we're joined live by Philip Rocco, Associate Professor of Political Science at Marquette University. Good morning, Philip. Thanks for being with us this morning. So let's start here with last week's Democratic Senate debate. The abortion issue took center stage again, as you heard there last night. The candidates discussed it. Is it going to be a pivotal issue for voters in this race, even though they generally come down on the same side of the issue?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if you look at the way that candidates are trying to define themselves in this primary, I think that it's pretty clear that the candidates are sort of converging on a kind of extreme position on abortion, and that's sort of out of line with where the majority of Wisconsin voters are. But if you remember, that this is a primary election. So it's a very different electorate than the general election. And so it makes sense that on abortion and a variety of other issues, you're not actually seeing the candidates distinguish themselves from one another on the issues. They're sort of distinguishing themselves from one another on sort of who is the true quote unquote conservative. Tim Michaels sort of saying, not on the debate stage, but in the ads, that he's got Trump's endorsement. Rebecca Clayfish sort of making the case last night that she sort of knows how to get things done, that she's got the ability to make reforms. And Tim Rantham sort of saying, I'm the only person who actually wants to double down and go as far as Trump wants to go on decertification. So really not seeing them distinguish themselves from one another on supporting the 1849 abortion ban, but using their kind of conservative bona fides to distinguish themselves from one another.
So Professor Rocco, speaking of separating themselves from each other, with more than 30% of Republican voters in a recent Marquette Law School poll saying that they are still undecided. After watching last night, did anyone stand out? Did anyone gain some votes, you think?
I don't really think that on the basis of this debate alone, that you're going to see much shift in those numbers, in part because those numbers that you're seeing out there are generated in part by the way that electoral endorsements help voters to make up their minds. Now, it might be the case that the debate itself kind of adds to those trends or gives candidates something to run on or something to use they might not have had before. But I don't necessarily think that it changes the underlying overall electoral trends. Although one would hope that if voters are, have not made up their minds yet, that they could use this as a piece of information to do so.
We're running out of time here, but I want to ask this question really quickly. What about the issue of decertifying the 2020 election? You mentioned it a little bit there. Tim Michaels, backed by former President Trump, who of course would like to see that done, but Michaels and Clayfish say that they wouldn't go down that path. Tim Rantham, of course, however, says that he is the only person he's surprised that will look into this.
Yeah, I think that the one thing that you don't necessarily seeing the candidates do is to distinguish themselves from one another by saying that they don't necessarily agree with what's been called the big lie, the myth of massive voter fraud in the election. You don't see distinction on that. You see distinction on sort of what they would do about it, and being able to claim that you have some other alternative, like clamping down and maybe getting rid of the Wisconsin Election Commission. That sort of provides a way out of getting into the muck of the decertification itself for the other two candidates.
Philip Rocco, Associate Professor of Political Science at Marquette University. Thanks so much for your time this morning and your expertise. Appreciate it.
Thanks.